Welcome to Aunty K's, your favorite radical queer indigenous auntie, bringing you tarot every day. Hello everyone, and welcome to Aunty K's Tarot. I wanted to do a VR to Wicked Moonlight, who did a video, my top 5 disappointing decks of 2022. And I'm going to pop up here a screenshot from my deck collection list, and it's showing the year of 2022. The red is all decks I was really disappointed in. Dark green was like, not really for me. I'm gonna pass it on. Lighter green was, I like it, but I don't super jive with it the way someone else was, and I know I can find the right person to gift this to. And sometimes I gift decks that I like and am using on a regular basis. So green's not necessarily a huge indicator, but the reds are. So my last deck in 2022 was the Royal Mischief Transformation cards. Interestingly, my last deck in of 2021 was by the same artist, and that was the Triumphi della Luna. And within a week, I was like, red strike. They both went into my purgatory drawer. That is not a maybe, it is a you're gone drawer. And so some of the decks that are highlighted in red aren't here. I was just disappointed that while this deck was like cool and kind of creepy, there was like one brown person in the whole entire deck. And that was just crappy. And while there was like one brown person, there was like plenty of these cards, voodoo masks. You're going to put only one brown person in there. You really, here they are. I tried giving it keywords, and that's when I noticed. Because also the depictions were somewhat confusing for me when I was getting into the pictures. So I tried putting keywords. And when I did that, that's when I realized this is the only brown person in the entire deck. There's like one that shows like, unless you want to count these folks, but that whole picture makes me kind of uncomfortable. And yeah, I was just disappointed with this deck. Oh yeah, we have a Braiding Beauty, but they couldn't even be brown. So disappointed. Will be getting rid of it. It's in my pile to go. So like I said, some decks aren't even here anymore. And so the Feminina Majors only, I'm going to put up a couple pictures. I found this deck. I was excited about this deck. I did like an unboxing video, and I'm going through it being like, there's something weird about this brown people deck. There's something weird about it. And I dug in further, and Savannah Sparkle Divine Tarot helped me dig into it. And basically, the brown people, a few of them looked brown. Most of them didn't really, and it was weird, and they looked kind of ambiguous, Asian. The black people looked black, but a lot of them look kind of ambiguous Asian, all with the same brown skin tone. And then the creator, we found the creator, and she was all over modern day Orientalism. Oh, people from Asia are so cool. I'm so enamored with them. So it was just like, no, get rid of that deck. I got an Oracle deck for my kids, so I don't know if it really counts. We have a rule in our house that you can only buy Harry Potter stuff that isn't licensed, because we don't support TERFs. And it was just poorly done. I don't really remember what it's called. It wasn't even worth gifting. I got rid of it. So maybe that one's sort of an honorable mention because I can't really tell you what it was. I got this New Moon Tarot deck from a local shop that has mass market and indie decks. And like there's a lot about this deck that is really cool, except for the court cards. Let's find some more court cards. Go. I can show you the problem with, like, I like the pips. I do. I like the pips. So there's a lot about this deck that is really beautiful, but the majors are just copies of the same card with a different symbol depending on its suit. So they're all deer. There is a page deer, a knight deer, a queen deer, and a king deer. This is enough for you to get the point. All the page deers are the same. All the knight deers are the same. All the queen deers are the same. All the king deers are the same. They just have a different element on the bottom. And so, court cards are hard enough to read as they are. And that just, it gave me nothing. It made me feel like the creator doesn't know tarot enough to know what to do with the court cards, because the pips are all well done. And that's where people are usually going to complain about laziness in art in a deck. It's going to be in the pips. But no, the pips are well done. The majors are well done. The courts, however, are just... It's really such a shame because it's a really pretty deck. But, I use court cards really heavily to identify who somebody is and, what their backgrounds are, information about them. And that gives me nothing. So I really didn't like that. For the same reason, the Exotic Cancer Tarot was a huge disappointment. And I wanted to like everything about this pink holographic deck. And the majority of decks that were first gifted to me, so I think my first decks, there were 6, and like 3 of them were exotic decks. And I just wanted one I connected with. And I would have been okay with this deck. There were things about it that were pretty cool. But the court cards, again, were just completely disappointing. I'll stop and find a bunch. We're not going to show the queens because I probably won't get away with it. But here's the pages. Like, we're seeing a lot of similarity in the pictures. Here's the knights. I'm not going to be able to show the queens and get away with it. Kings. Oh, that was the other night. Sorry. They're so similar, I get confused. So the king actually is the exact same dude in all of it. In fact, he's through most of the deck. And the woman on his lap changes her hairdo and undergarments. And actually, like, the people were just cut and pasted. Like, they look almost the same with, you know, slightly different hair. But, like, they've got the same face, regardless of the color. All the people, all the women have the exact same face. All the men have the exact same face. They shift race with the exact same, like, it's just a hot pink mess. It in a lot of ways irritates me more than this, because you want to know something? A black man and a white man do not have the same face as each other. We covered 5 decks, but I'm going to call the Harry Potter deck like an extra because I didn't really have anything to show you. I didn't gift it. I saw it. I saw the quality. It was like there was 4 different pictures that the whole deck had, and they were flimsy, and then there was a lot of writing on the back. And so I was, yeah. So the other deck is actually 2 decks that are pretty much combined together here. They're each 100 cards. They're from Pretty Spirits. I thought they would just be really useful. It's the Truth deck and the Soulmate deck. Maybe if I show you up front. But honestly, just, you know, words apparently are not good enough for me. Like, I used it for a couple weeks, and then I was like, maybe not even that. I used it, and then I'd set aside and draw other cards because I wasn't feeling anything from it. And my intuition was like, that's not even the right card. I don't give the kind of readings where I tell people to heal your third eye chakra. I don't know. I just didn't end up using them. And I'm not disappointed in the quality. I knew what I was buying. So in this case, like, Pretty Spirits are good quality cards. They're nice. But it just wasn't doing what I needed it to do. It wasn't jiving with me, and so it was like a personal disappointment with this deck. You know, this is a deck that got put in a dark green. It just, the disappointment was like, yeah, that's a lot of money you spent on 2 decks that aren't your deal. Whereas the other decks were like, 2 of them fit the lazy court card issue, and you know, 2 of them fit the I am tired of white people shit in my art, whether it's forgetting the rest of us or whether it's orientalizing the rest of us. And so those are my top 5 disappointing decks. One's a combo. And also a bonus that I just had nothing to really show you, including pictures. I'm going to add one more bonus that Okay. So before I actually end this, I'm just going to throw in, there was one other deck that hit my red zone, And I went and found some pictures to throw up here for you. It was the Metamuse, and it fell into this category. It was one of those collage decks using historic photos from, I don't know, like mostly the 20s and stuff. And oh, it wasn't my fault. I couldn't find any pictures but white people because I used historic photos. And that's bullshit, people. There is historically plenty of photos of BIPOC people throughout the ages. You're just not interested in seeing them. You're not going looking for them. I'm just tired of that as a cop-out. Oh, it's historic. That's why there's no BIPOC folks. Yeah. Not historically accurate at all. That's no, that's not real. It's just not real. You can find historic photos of BIPOC folks, especially, in the 1920s. Okay, so those are my top 5 disappointing decks, plus, because I couldn't keep it to just 5. So there you have it, folks. The link for Wicked Moonlight's video, the original one, which I'm VRing to, is in the description box. And go watch it. Check it out. Make sure you tag Wicked Moonlight if you do this.